So today we're doing a quick update on the laundry list 73 MGB. It's all buttoned up, ready to go back to its owner. Some of the things that we've done since our last time we worked on it, or done a video on it, was fix a couple of little electrical problems. There was some stuff hooked up wrong on the fuse box, and there was a blown fuse. Got stuff hooked up correctly. Everything seems to be working right. We took off that homemade thing that was being used as a prop rod that looked like it was going to collapse every time you put it up and was a pain to tuck in, and put a factory prop rod back on it, just because he really wanted to get away from that thing, and put one of these back on it. And so I had a couple used ones laying around. We just threw that on there. And got the front turn signals. What we went ahead and did was just put new ones on it. I actually had these sitting in stock, and he said he didn't care that these were the 6869 and that they didn't actually match the car as far as originality. He just wanted them to work. And those are cheaper to replace than it is to sit and pay me to screw around with those and fix broken wires and connections and try to rewire sockets and make it all work, because housings were pretty rough. So got those on, and those are now working fine, because through the old housings we couldn't get them to ground right and could not get the LED bulbs in to actually work at all. And I just said, let's just forget this. If you're cool with these, we'll throw these on, save you a bunch of money. But he doesn't have the LED lights anymore, but he can also swap to them later if he really wants them. So we got all the interior put back together. All the wiring is all sorted out in here. And I actually extended one wire in there because it was so tight you couldn't put the radio in without pulling it. And it actually broke the connector on the back of the radio. So I extended that so everything could be stuffed in there and actually not be so tight. So now everything's working, turn signals, brake lights. We got some speakers in there now so he can actually hear the radio when he's driving. And if you remember from previous videos, he had gotten rear-ended in his old one, and this is the new car for him, and he wanted third brake lights. And the ones he brought me just weren't going to really work. So I found some lights. We ended up putting them right in here. So we got a nice clean installation. What we did was we stitched up quick little pockets here to put these in, put them in those pockets, run the wires down here. Now this isn't, a perfect, beautiful job. It's more of a cost-effective job. If I was doing a full restoration, we would have done a little bit, made sure this was a little bit neater and tighter. But it runs down through here. We got just enough slack in here, and I found these 3-wire waterproof connectors. So you just put these things together like this and screw them in, and then they're nice and watertight, and they got enough slack you can put the top in here. But if he ever wants to take this thing out for any reason, he can just undo it here and pull it out, rather than having to go all the way into the back to the tail lights where they're connected and unhook everything and pull the wires through. So, and then I soldered on the wires all the right colors to match the original wiring harness to go back to the tail light. So if anybody's ever playing with this in the future, the green and white to the green and white, the green and red to the green and red, and all that stuff. So no confusion there. All right, so these brake lights here, we got brake lights and we got turn signals. And then they'll actually double as brake. So they got 2 sets of lights in them, dim and bright. Of course, there's not a huge difference in these, but it works. So, and even when he has the top up, you can see him through the window because of where we placed him. All right, so after we got the overdrive working, I went ahead and changed the oil in the gearbox one more time, just for good measure. And right now, everything's working exactly like it should. So the laundry list has finally been checked off. So now all I gotta do is finish making up the bill for him. He can come get it, and the next car is coming in.